Hello and welcome to Homer for Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. Today we are going to be reading from lines 46 to 65 in Book 13 of the Iliad, in which we hear about putting strength into one's heart. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and let's get right into this fantastic passage. To the two Iantes he spoke first, themselves very eager. Iantes, the two of you will save the army of the Chians if you take thought of valor and not of chill rout. Nowhere else do I fear the invincible hands of the Trojans who have climbed over the great wall in their multitude, for the well-greaved Achaeans will hold all back. But it is here that I am dreadfully afraid that some evil may befall us. Here where that madman is leading on like a flame of fire, of Hector, who boasts that he is a son of mighty Zeus. But in the hearts of you two, may some God put it to stand firm yourselves, and to command others to do the same. So might you drive him back from the swift-faring ships, despite his eagerness, even though the Olympian himself is urging him on. With that, the enfolder and shaker of earth struck the two with his staff and filled them with mighty strength and made their limbs light, their feet and their hands above. And he himself, just as a hawk swift of flight rises to fly, and poising himself aloft above a high sheer rock, darts over the plain to chase some other bird, so from them sped Poseidon, the shaker of the earth. Amazing. Let's do it in the Greek. Aiante proto prosepermo takai auto. Aiante suamente sovosata launa caion. Anches messa manome de cruaroio faboio. Ale men garagogo dedie keras aptus. Troon hoi megatecus super catabeson homiloi. Exus in gargantus uoc mira secaioi. De aino tatum peride de aino taton peride diameti papomen. Erga holu suodes flugie celos egama naue. Hectoros dios ecteris naus paisenai. Slovin vore teontis enifras poeseien. Estamenain crataros caenogemen alus. Tuote caeas sumenon per ores aito apogeon. Poneon. Occuporone caemin alumpios autos egerei. Kai scapen ioi kai eukos enos igaios. Amvutero que copos plesen menos cataroio. Qui the thecen elafra podas kai cara superthen. Autos tos irex occulteros otopetestai. Ostata paidi dipos petres perimecos athes. Messe pedio io che one on allo. Was potone ix poset awon na sichton. What a great long passage. Always like the reading to be mostly a reading and less of me rambling. But what can you do? You're in for a treat today because we have much to discuss for this fantastic passage. So what is it about banging somebody with a staff that magically makes them aboveward? Podas kaikeras huperthen, so it makes their limbs above them. What does that mean? What is the scope of magic in epic poetry, the scope of magic in our world, and does our world collide with epic poetry? Isn't that the real question of the Homer YouTube channel here? I think that it's a very interesting recurrent device, the stick, to make magic happen. Very interesting here that the gods make magic happen, but it's Poseidon that uses a scepter or a staff rather to make his magic happen. So he uses, I sort of messed up the performance of it, but he uses the staff instead of a magic wand. And perhaps he's going to give them something really, really great. And he's going to give them the ability to be an animal. I find that very interesting, that they, he flies away like a bird. So from them sped Poseidon, the shaker of earth. He comes as a hawk, right? Irix. And we have this other word for describing a man transposed as an animal in line 53, which is lusodes, like a dog, right? A loosed dog, a maddened dog, was Hector leading in resemblance to a flame. What's the exact translation here that they use? Madman is leading on like a flame of fire. Lusodes is a Homeric hapax legomenon, so it's the only usage of it ever, and it's in here. Lusodes, right? So odes, right, is kind of sort of like maybe smell even, right? Loose is let go, like, you're the lusus, right? The ceasing to madness, that sort of thing. But it's also kind of like, we hear a bit of a dog bit in here as well. It's interesting to think of why this is. And also, I think it's important to note how we have, again, as we were looking at earlier, or at least I was looking at my essay that I posted online, right? I think that's this is an interesting, so there's a series of 5 particular words, literally particles, right? The relative and the dative, singular, right now, this, right? This man indeed is like a flame. It's almost as if the poet is breathing fire, right? I think it's very interesting. And it sounds a bit like here when we describe the bird that is perched high above, which is Poseidon as he is going to swoop down. I don't know. I find this transfiguration very interesting, and there's probably much more to be discussed regarding why Hector. I mean, obviously Hector is like fire because they're going to set the ships on fire. It's a very important thing for the narrative arc. But I find it very interesting in general. I think it's worth more looking into. But also, in the construction of language, interesting here that it's ayante, right? We will see that it's not referring to the 2 Aiases, but rather a big Telamonian Ajax is de facto leader of the Iliadic heroes right now, and his brother Teokros, which is a shout out to the Moldiones, which we saw in book 11 and 12, who are also referred to as brothers, but by a single name. Very interesting. Okay, so I guess the question that I should leave you with today, as we have discussed this transfiguration, is first of all, what does it mean to raise one's hands? Why do we care about going upward? The high sheer rock, the eagle goes upward, the hawk goes upward, the flames rise higher. Why do flames not go downward? Why do birds not go underground? Why does Poseidon come to the surface of the ocean? Why do we transfigure ourselves into things that are going upward? Why do we raise our hands and our feet? Why do we make our limbs light? What is it about that is so fascinating to us? And for you, listener, what is a way in which you feel that you fly in your life? Is there a time, is there a place when you feel winged? Thank you so much for listening to the Homer YouTube channel today, and I look forward to sharing more about epic poetry with you tomorrow. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.